For this crochet project, you're going to need your 4mm crochet hook, as well as a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. I also found that using these Dritz Home upholstery needles makes it easier for sewing the legs on. You just have to be careful that you keep these in a safe place because they're very long and sharp. It comes in different sizes. I usually use my 12-inch, but it also has a 10-inch, 8-inch, and a 6-inch needle. For the safety eyes, I used a 12mm safety eye, and this one is called Bubblegum. You can see the little dots on the outside. This is by 6060 Eyes. And then for the one on video tutorial, I'm using a 12mm Fab Lab Eyes. I use these on my Siberian Husky dogs as well, my small Siberian Husky dogs. They're just really pretty. So this one has a blue shimmer design around it. And again, it's a 12mm. The yarn that I used is Pound of Love. I have my light pink colored yarn. Now for the blue one, I used Pound of Love, a turquoise colored yarn, but on video tutorial, the main color, I'm using my light pink Pound of Love. For the alternate colored choices, I used Pretty in Pink. This is a Red Heart yarn, Super Saver. Here's some information about this yarn. And the glittery sparkle hot pink colored yarn that I used is Karen's Simply Soft Party. Here's some information about this yarn. Now this one comes in a lot of fun colors. For the blue dragon, I used Royal Sparkle Blue. The alternate gray color that I used for the blue dragon is a big twist gray. The written pattern for this large alternative magical dragon is a paid pattern. But I also have the written pattern for Google Translate on my blog for free. The beads that I'm using are from Bead Extravaganza. It's a bright mix. You have 2,300 beads in this. It's really good. I have the sparkly colored and then just plain beads. So I'm using the pink sparkly colored beads. We're going to start with the head. So go ahead and get your main colored yarn. I'm using my light pink Pound of Love yarn. Go ahead and take the yarn, drape it across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and then hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops around the 2 middle fingers, bring up a loop. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. And then we're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So just take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through both loops for a single crochet. And then you're going to make 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then you're going to take your forefinger and thumb and you're going to hold the base of the 6 single crochet. You have these 2 loops on the opposite side. You're going to pull on one of them. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Don't worry if you don't get it all the way closed. You can always close it more later. Then let go and grab the loose yarn end and pull on that gently. Then you can turn your work, and we're going to work in rounds. So you're going to go into that first stitch in the round. And you're going to make 2 single crochet into that stitch. And you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12 stitches. So I'm going to make one more set with you. So 2 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 12 stitches and then come back. So now you can take and turn the work over and pull on that loose yarn end to close the center of the magic circle. Then just take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off. I just use one of my scraps of yarn. Now we're going to make increase rounds, which means we're going to increase the number of stitches in the round. And we're going to make 2 of them right now. For the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. You should have had 18 total stitches in the round after finishing that round. Then just take and move the yarn marker up for our next increase round. Now for the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then make 2 single crochet into the third stitch, and then just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. So you should have 24 total stitches after that round. Then go ahead, move the yarn marker up, and now you're not going to make any increase rounds, which means that you're going to have the same number of stitches in the round every time you go back to the yarn marker. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch around until you've completed 3 rounds. So when you reach the yarn marker, don't remove it, just leave it in place. That way you can keep track of how many rounds that you finish, and just make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 3 rounds, and then come back. This is what mine looks like so far after finishing the 3 rounds. Now go ahead and set this aside for now. We're going to make the nostrils. It's easier to make them now and sew them on than later. Now you're going to get your pretty sparkly pink yarn, or whatever alternate sparkly colored yarn that you're using for your dragon, and we're going to make the magic circle again. So you just drape the yarn across your 4 fingers using your thumb to stabilize, and then just wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then you're just going to take and bring up a loop, yarn over, go through that loop for your slip knot. Then you're going to place 3 single crochet into the magic circle. So only 3 for the nostril. 3 single crochet into the magic circle. And then you close it the same way. So hold the base of the 3 single crochet, close, pull on one of the loops to close it, and then pull on the loose yarn end. Then you're going to take and turn your work just like you did with the 6 single crochet. You're going to go into that first stitch. So make sure you get under both loops of that stitch. Then bring up a loop. Make your single crochet. Then chain 1. Turn your work, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then go ahead and finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the nostril onto the dragon. So I'm going to make 1 more nostril with you. We need 2 of these. So again, I'm going to make the magic circle. I'm going to place 3 single crochet into the magic circle. Then I'm going to close it up. Then I'm going to turn my work to go into that first stitch in the round, making sure to get under both loops. Bring up a loop, make a single crochet, chain 1, turn my work, and then just slip stitch into that next stitch. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the nostril onto your dragon. So now you should have 2 nostrils ready for sewing. Now you want to take your tapestry needle and put it onto one of the ends, long ends for sewing, and you're going to use your magic circle in the center as a landmark, and then just place the nostril just outside of the magic circle at a 45-degree angle, just pointing off at a 45-degree angle, and then you can take and just sew it in place. Just go in and out and then sew it in place. And then you're going to place your second nostril the exact same way on the opposite side and then sew it in place. This is what my nostrils look like after sewing them on. Now you're ready to resume where we left off. Then you can take and move your yarn marker up to where we left off, and we're going to make decrease rounds now, which means we're going to decrease the number of stitches in the round. So you're going to take and make 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together or make a decrease stitch. So you can go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. Now you have 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch over and bring up a loop. 3 loops on the hook, go ahead and yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through all 3 loops for a decrease stitch, or single crochet 2 stitches together. Now you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together. And repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then you should have 18 total stitches in the round. Then go ahead, move your yarn marker up, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 4 rounds. So 1 single crochet in every stitch for 4 rounds, and then come back. Now we're ready to make the increase round again, which again, that means that we're going to increase the number of stitches in the round. So for the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 4th stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. When you get back to the yarn marker, you'll see that you have 2 stitches right before the yarn marker. Just make 1 single crochet into each of those 2 remaining stitches. You should have 22 total stitches in the round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up for our next increase round. Now for this next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then make 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then again, you'll have 2 remaining stitches that you'll make 1 single crochet into each of those stitches, and then that will give you a total of 26 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up, and now you're not going to make increase rounds. So now it's 1 to 1. You're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for a total of 6 rounds. So 6 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. This is how my work looks after finishing 6 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now we're ready to place the eyes. So go ahead and set this down and get your safety doll eyes. So now you're going to take and use your magic circle as a landmark. Count 14 rounds and then place your safety eyes. Now I used an imaginary line for the nostrils to line up my eyes, and then I have about 4 stitches between the eyes. So make sure that your eyes aren't crooked, that they're on the same round, and once you're happy with the placement of your eyes, then you can take and place the safety latch. Once you put that safety latch on, it's very difficult to impossible to get it off. So it just goes right onto the back. Just take and press the safety latch and it's secured onto your crochet work. Now we're ready to go back to where you left off. Move your yarn marker up, and now we're going to make a decrease round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together for a decrease stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together. Then you have 2 stitches remaining right before the yarn marker. Go ahead and make 1 single crochet into each of those stitches, which will give you a stitch count of 22. So now you need your craft stuffing. Go ahead and stuff the head of your dragon. After you stuff the head of the dragon, you're ready for your next decrease round. And you can stuff it more as you close, whatever's easiest. Go ahead and take and move the yarn marker up to where you left off. And for this decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then make your decrease stitch. So 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then make your decrease stitch, or single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. I had 18 total stitches on that last round. Then go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together. Repeat that pattern all the way around. So now you can see how you're almost closed. I have 14 total stitches in the round. Now just remove your yarn marker, and you're just going to make single crochet 2 stitches together all the way around until you're almost closed. I'm just going to close this with you. And then when you're almost closed is when you're going to slip stitch the rest to completely close the head. So you can see how I'm just going around and making single crochet 2 together, or 2 stitches together for a decrease stitch all the way around. So probably can make 1 more before I'm going to start slip stitching. So here you can see I'm almost closed, and here's where you can add more stuffing if you need to, but I'm happy with the way it looks, so I'm not going to stuff anymore. And then you can skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, and then just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and then just bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. And you're going to do that all the way around until the head of the dragon is closed. I might make 1 more. Then you can go ahead and just finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So now just take your tapestry needle, put it onto that loose yarn end, and then you're just going to take and go right in where you finished off, and then come out anywhere And for mine, I like to go back one stitch over and then just come back through. That just helps to bury. You don't have to do that, but I just like because it makes it really secure. So now we're going to make 5 large triangles. Go ahead and set your head aside for now. We're going to make 1 large triangle with your main color, which is the light pink, and then you're going to make 4 of them with your sparkly pink colored yarn. So this one with the light pink color is going to go right on the top of the head here, and then the other 4, 2 for one ear and then 2 for the other ear. So I'm going to show you with your light pink colored yarn first how to make the triangle. So go ahead and take the light pink colored yarn, fold it over on itself to form a loop. Take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb. Just yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to make a chain. We're going to make a chain of 6. So just yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for 1. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through the loop for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go into the second chain from the hook. And you're going to bring up a loop and make a single crochet. And then you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back across, which will give you a stitch count of 5. So this 3 single crochet, 4, and 5. Now you're just going to turn your work and you're going to go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, make a single crochet, and then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into each stitch back across, and that will give you a stitch count of 4. So you have a stitch count of 4 for that row. Then you're just going to turn your work again, go into the next stitch over, make a single crochet, so that's 1, 2, and 3. So now you have 3 stitches on that row. Go ahead and turn your work. You're going to go into the next stitch over, make a single crochet, so there's 1, and then a single crochet into the next stitch over, which is 2, turn your work, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch over. So you go into the next stitch over, yarn over, and then just bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch, and then go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over, and then I pull enough yarn through for sewing onto the dragon. So here you can see that I finished off at the tip of the triangle. So I'm going to have to, with my tapestry needle, I'm going to place the tapestry needle onto that long end that I left for sewing, and then just kind of weave it through the work to the base of the triangle. And then it's ready for sewing onto the dragon. So again, you're going to make the other 4 triangles the exact same way with your hot pink sparkle yarn or whatever sparkly yarn that you chose to go with your dragon. So 4 more in that color. So after you finish the 4 triangles in your alternate sparkly color, go ahead and set those aside for now. And you're going to take your main color yarn large triangle, put the tapestry needle on the long end that you left for sewing, and you're going to take your dragon head And you're going to just line up the base of the triangle onto the back of the head. And I just use the eyes to center the triangle along the back of the head, and then I just take my tapestry needle and just sew along the base of the triangle only. So you want the point of the triangle to point away from the dragon. So you want that flap to still be able to lift up. So you only want to sew along the base of that triangle. And then just secure it in place. So I'm just going to take and tie a knot with that loose yarn end. Then you can take and bury the loose yarn ends. Just go right in where you tied your knot and then just come out anywhere. And then again, sometimes I like to go back through. So go ahead, sew on your triangle, and then just bury any of your loose yarn ends, and then we'll make the ears. Now for the ears, go ahead and take 2 of your large triangles. I left long loose yarn ends on the tip of each of the triangles. I'm just going to take one of them. And then you're going to take your triangles and you're going to lay them so that the tips are together and then the base is together, and we're going to sew along one of the sides. So you just take your tapestry needle and then just grab a stitch on each side of the triangle. Again, this is the tip of the triangle, this is the base of the triangle, and I'm just sewing along one of the sides. Just go back and forth and just sew the one side together. And then when you reach the end, you can go ahead and tie a knot. And then you can see how you have the ear flap. So here is the base, and then here are the 2 points. So go ahead and sew the other 2 together the exact same way. Now, after you finish sewing the 2 pieces together, you want to leave the long loose yarn end at the point for sewing, and just bury the loose yarn ends on the opposite side. Just take and weave it right through the ridge where you sewed, and then just trim the loose yarn end. After you buried the loose yarn ends on the base of the ear, here's the points of the triangle. This is where I left the long loose yarn end for sewing to the dragon head. But if you want to put a decoration on the base of the triangle, just take your crochet hook, go into the corner of the base, and then you're going to join your alternate colored yarn, and then chain 1, and then just tie a knot. Then you're going to make sure that you bury your loose yarn end as you crochet, but go ahead and chain 1, and then you're going to go into the next stitch over, go behind the loose yarn end, bring up a loop, make a single crochet, and then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into each stitch across. And I'm just going behind my loose yarn end. and then burying it as I crochet. Just want to make sure it looks okay on the other side, because the side that you have the ridge is the wrong side, and then here is the right side. So you can choose to put the ridge side facing forward on your dragon or the other side facing forward. So on my blue dragon I placed this one forward, but on this one I'm going to face this other side forward. So whichever side you want to show on your dragon is fine. And then continue just making one single crochet, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim my loose yarn end, and then continue making one single crochet across to the end. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. So now you can bury this loose yarn end. Just take and put that loose yarn end onto your tapestry needle and just weave it through the same colored yarn area. And then just take and trim it. And then repeat this with your other ear, and then it's ready to be sewn on to the dragon. Now you're ready to sew the ear onto the dragon. Just take the right side that you want showing towards the front of the dragon, like this. Lay it down onto the dragon. Then you're going to line up the ear, and I just use an imaginary line from the eye back. And then you're just going to take and sew the base, actually the tips of the triangles, together to the dragon's head. And then you'll see how the dragon ear will fold back like this. So go ahead, sew both of the ears in place, and then after you've secured the ears, you can take and tie a knot. So for mine, I just tied a knot on the back. I like to go through twice. And then to bury the loose yarn end, I just go up into the ridge or into the same colored portion of the ear. And then just trim the loose yarn end. And then the other ear is sewn on the exact same way. Now you can set the dragon's head aside. We're going to make the body. I'm going to show you how to make the body. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how to make the eyelashes if you want to have eyelashes for your dragon. Now to make the eyelashes, you're going to want to put the sparkly colored yarn onto your tapestry needle. And then you're going to start from behind the ear. You're going to go down into the head and then back up right at the tip of the eye where you want to place your eyelashes. Make sure you leave enough of a loose yarn end in the back for sewing, burying your loose yarn end. And then you're going to take and go up 2 rows and 2 stitches over, and then come back out near the eye at the same point that you came out of. Then you're going to take and go straight back 3 rows, and then come back at the same point where you went in initially, so always at the same point you're going to go back to. Then you're going to go over 2 rows and then 2 stitches over, and then you're going to go back out where you initially went in behind the ear. And you see how you make beautiful eyelashes. And you can do this before you close the head or at this point. That's how you would do it at this point. And then you would just repeat the same thing on the opposite side. And then you just tie your knot onto the back. And then you can bury the loose yarn ends into the ear. Make sure that as you tie your knot that you're not messing up your eyelashes. And then you just bury your loose yarn ends. Now you can set the dragon head aside for now. We're going to make the body. So we're going to start with the light pink colored yarn, and we're going to make the magic circle. So you're going to go ahead and bring up a loop and then make your slip knot. And then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So 6 single crochet. Then you're going to take and close the magic circle just like we did before. And then just turn your work, and then you're going to place 2 single crochet into that first stitch in the round. So 2 single crochet into that first stitch, and you're going to place 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12 stitches. So now go ahead and take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and we're going to be making 6 increase rounds. So for the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. Then for the next round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. So I had 24 stitches on that last round, so you can see how we're going in order. This next increase round is going to be 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the fourth stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. So I had 30 stitches on that last round, and then the next increase round is 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the fifth stitch. So that last round had 36 total stitches. Now you're going to make 1 single crochet into 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the sixth stitch. So you should have had 42 total stitches on that last round. Now this is the last increase round. You're going to make 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the seventh stitch. So now you should have 48 total stitches in the round. Then go ahead and move the yarn marker up, and now you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 6 rounds. So 6 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So now you can see that I finished 6 single crochet, 6 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. So now I'm going to show you how to add beads. If you don't want to use beads, then you just continue making 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 1 more round. If you're going to use these beads, or whatever beads that you're using, need to have a large hole in the center, and you could use any small crochet hook that fits through the hole. I'm just using my 3.75 millimeter, but I could use a smaller hook too, just small enough to get through the hole to grab the yarn and the bead. So now I'm just going to show you how I crochet with the bead. I'm just going to put the beads in on one round. So I'm going to go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Go ahead and remove your crochet hook, and then just get your smaller crochet hook and take and scoop up a bead. And then you're just going to take and hook the yarn, and then just bring the yarn through the bead. Then you just take and resume with your regular crochet hook. Just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops for a single crochet. And then you can space the beads however far apart that you want. So I'm going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, and then a single crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to place a bead. So you can see how easy it is to just take and grab your bead and then just bring the yarn through the loop and then just resume crocheting with your crochet hook. So I'm just going to show you a couple more so you can get used to how I'm doing it. But you can see how easy it is. If you like crocheting with smaller beads, I have video tutorials for that as well. So I have a coin purse with beads, and I show you how you would crochet with the smaller beads. And I also have a doll too, a Barbie doll, where I made her dress. She has a blue dress, and I made the blue dress with smaller beads. I show how I used smaller beads on her dress. So those have separate video tutorials. Alright, so I'm going to show you one more, and then you can go ahead and crochet with the beads. And again, if you're not using the beads, then you just would crochet one round of just one single crochet in every stitch. This is what my work looks like after finishing that round. Then I'm going to make one single crochet into each of the 2 remaining stitches. Then I'm going to go ahead and take and remove the yarn marker and join my sparkly colored yarn. So I'm going to bring up a loop, go ahead and chain 1, and then just take and tie a knot. And then just cut the previous colored yarn. Then you're going to take and resume crocheting with your sparkly colored yarn. Now we're going to make a decrease round. So you're going to make one single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to where you started. So one single crochet into 6 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together. You should have finished 42 total stitches after that round. Now you're going to make one single crochet. Go ahead and put your yarn marker right where you left off to help you keep track of the rounds. And now you're going to make one single crochet into every stitch around for 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of only one single crochet in every stitch around. After you finish the 2 rounds of one single crochet in every stitch, go ahead and bring your other alternate color in, and you're just going to join, just bring up a loop, chain 1, and then just lay your work down and then tie a knot, and then just cut your previous colored yarn. And then you're ready to crochet with your new colored yarn. So now we're going to make a decrease round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together, or make your decrease stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to back to where you started. So now you should have 36 total stitches in the round. And go ahead and get your yarn marker, place it right where you left off. And now you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for a total of 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Now you can alternate your colors any way that you like. I'm going to go ahead and change back to my sparkly colored yarn at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and join it. Then I'm going to make another decrease round. So I'm going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches. And then I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches together, and I'm going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to where I started. So now you should have 30 total stitches in the round. Then go ahead and get your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and then just make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 2 rounds. So 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Then you can go ahead and remove the yarn marker, and you're going to join back to your main color yarn. So go ahead and change back to the main colored yarn. Then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 4 rounds. So 4 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now after you finish your 4 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch, go ahead and make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, and then you can go ahead and finish off and just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the neck onto the body. Go ahead and set the body aside for now. So for the neck, you're going to use the main color yarn, and we're going to start with the magic circle. And again, you're going to place your slip knot. And then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle, just like we've done before. And then just take and close it just like before. So 6 single crochet into the magic circle, then turn your work, and you're going to make 2 single crochet into the first stitch on the round, and you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around for a total of 12 stitches, and then come back. Then we're going to start our increase rounds. So you can go ahead and place the yarn marker right where you left off, and we're going to be making 8 increase rounds. So for the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So for the next increase round is 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. So if you need help with the stitch count, On my blog, www.HelenMayCrochet.com, I have a stitch count guide for when you start with the 6 single crochet in the magic circle. So it should increase by 6 for each round. So this round is 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 3rd stitch. And repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then for the next increase round is 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 4th stitch. Then 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. Then 1 single crochet into 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 6th stitch. And then 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 7th stitch. And then 1 single crochet into 7 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 8th stitch. And then the last increase round is 1 single crochet into 8 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 9th stitch. So now you should have finished with 60 total stitches in the round. Then you're going to take and fold the circle in half so that the loose yarn end is on the inside. And then you're going to take and slip stitch into the stitch on the opposite side. So you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook. And what you did is you formed 2 circles and you're forming the neck. Then you're going to take and go into the next stitch over on one of the circles, which I'm going to make around the left circle. So you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around, back to where you started. Now you should be back where you started. I have 30 total stitches in the round. Go ahead and take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 1 round. So 1 more round of just 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Then go ahead and move the yarn marker up. We're going to make a decrease round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together, and just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. So now you should have 22 stitches in the round. We're going to make 1 more decrease round. Again, you're going to repeat just 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. And then just repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. If you ever have any remaining stitches before the yarn marker, just make a single crochet into any remaining stitches. So now I have 17 total. Then total stitches, then just make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, and then go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the neck onto the head. So now we're going to sew this portion where we finished off onto the head. So now you're going to take and place the neck portion onto the back of the dragon. So I have the head turned upside down, and I want to line up the bottom opening. This is the opening that's going to go on the body. Make sure that it's straight on the back of the dragon's head, and just secure that in place. Then you want to take and open up. Make sure that the opening goes up to that triangular portion, and the edges go to the ears. And then you're just going to sew all around the base. Make sure that the opening that goes to the body doesn't become crooked. And then you're just going to go in and out, sewing it in place with your tapestry needle. Then you can take and just tie a knot. And then I just take and bury the loose yarn end. I'm just going to bring it inside the neck. Now you're ready to stuff the neck and the body with the craft stuffing. So go ahead and get your craft stuffing and just stuff the neck and the body. So now you can see how I put craft stuffing into the neck and the body. Then you're just going to place the head onto the body, and then try to put this color change seam in the back if you can see it. Mine's hard to see, I can't really tell. Then you're just going to take your tapestry needle. You're going to line up the dragon's head, and then the long end that you left for sewing. And you're going to take your tapestry needle and you're going to go in through a stitch on the body. So you just go right through the stitch on the body and then come up through a stitch on the neck. And then you're going to go back down through a stitch on the neck, back through the stitch on the body. And you're going to do this all the way around. When you get to under the dragon's neck, come back and I'll sew that last part with you. So under the neck, it's the same thing. I've been able to get 1 to 1 basically on the stitches, and that's around the back of the neck. Now I'm under the neck, and I'm just going to continue just bringing the tapestry needle through the stitches on the neck as well as the body, and then just continue until it's completely closed. And then I just continue to the back, and then I just tied a knot in the back. And then I just go right where I tied the knot and then just come out anywhere on the neck, and then I just go about a stitch over and then just go back down again. Then you can take and just cut the loose yarn end, and then you have the neck. And this is what it looks like with the blue one, or a turquoise one. Now for the feet, I'm starting with my sparkly yarn. I'm going to start with the magic circle. So again, you're going to start with the slip knot, and then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then you can go ahead and close the magic circle just like you did before. So again, that's 6 single crochet into the magic circle, and then you're going to place 2 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 12. So 2 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 12. Then we're going to make 3 increase rounds. So go ahead and place your yarn marker, and just like we've done before, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then just repeat that pattern all the way around. Then for the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 3rd stitch, and repeat that pattern all the way around. And then for the last increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 4th stitch. Whoop, sorry about that.